Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. It's a video that I really didn't want to make. I didn't want to make it straight away at least, which is why I've taken a couple of days to let it settle and let my thoughts settle almost. I'm gutted. I'm honestly gutted. It's tough to take. It's shit. I've never felt this way about a manager before. Never felt this way about the club before. I've loved this club so much more under Bielsa, and it's been like a massive family under him, and it genuinely does feel like we've lost part of that family. And I mean, we have lost a massive part of the Leeds United family over the last couple of days. This day was always going to come. He was always going to leave eventually, but I didn't want it to happen like this. I think it's bad how it's been done. The board have dealt with this awfully. It was a rubbish statement. I wanted him to have a proper send-off as Leeds United manager, one that we actually knew it was going to be his last game, like almost the last day of the season, where he'd said, okay, I'm done now, so we could give him a proper send-off. A man that stood for dignity and fair play and honesty, and he united this club and the city of Leeds. He's never once blamed anyone else, referees, VAR, the players. He's taken the blame all on himself for everything, and for him to be kind of pushed out like this, it's not fair on the man. He deserves a lot better than that. He believed that he was the right man for the job. He believed that he could turn it around come the end of the season. And we've got more winnable games coming up, so maybe we should have let him give it a go. We've got the players coming back as well. I guess we'll never know if he could have been the one to turn it around. Apparently Angus Kinnear is rumoured to be leaving at the end of the season because he was dead set against Bielsa getting the sack. I knew something needed to change. I didn't want Bielsa to be the thing. I didn't want Bielsa going to be the thing that was the change. I wanted him to, because we changed towards the end of last season. So I was hoping he'd do that again, and the easier run of results would mean we'd get the wins that we needed to stay in the division. I think if this goes wrong and we do go down, which it could happen, it's going to become very toxic towards the board. They knew what Bielsa meant to the fans, what he meant to the players, what he stood for. I think this has been planned for a while. I think they had Jesse Marsch lined up to replace him in the summer if he was to leave. But I think they'd planned to get rid of him earlier, if you know what I mean. Because it wouldn't have been able to go through this quick. I think there were rumours that he'd met the players on Friday already, and that they knew before Tottenham that was going to be Bielsa's last game. And you look at, the signs have been there. It's an American manager. We have part American owners who are rumoured to be taking a bigger stake in the summer. The players that we wanted to sign in January, Brendan Aronson, an American international, and Taki Minamino played under Jesse Marsch at Salzburg. The signs have been there. I think it's a bit unfair. He's rebuilt this club. He's changed the philosophies, and he's made it the club that it is today. He put his own money into the training ground for the gyms and the running track, and opposition fans are going to be laughing at how we're so upset and all that, and how it's just a manager, this kind of thing happens in football, but they're not gonna they don't understand what he's done for our club, and to be honest, I wouldn't expect them to. I feel honoured to have had him as long as we did, 4 seasons, well, nearly 4 seasons. It's the longest he's been at a club ever. He changed the way that I watch and think about football. I just wish that he was leaving under different circumstances. I wanted him to leave under his terms at the end of the season, and he walks away kind of like, as much as I hate the club, kind of like Alex Ferguson did at Scum, recommending the successor and kind of having a role at the club somewhere. I can't see that happening now under the circumstances that have happened. I hope he never manages in England again, very selfishly, because I don't think I'll be able to deal with that. He's ours, he's Leeds's, and if he does go into management again, somewhere else, hopefully not England, I'll follow him and I'll support him wherever he goes. There's a statement from Newell's Old Boys, which was the club that he played for and the club that he managed at the start. And I think that it sums up what he means to clubs. Yeah, other clubs that haven't had him at their club, they'll never get it. The Leeds United Supporters Trust put out a great statement as well. It's crazy how the Supporters Trust and Newell's Old Boys have put out better statements than the official Leeds United account have. That's what it means to us, and very few clubs will ever understand, and that's what makes it special. Personally, what it's done for me and football, he helped me through lockdown. Leeds was one of the only things that I was looking forward to at the weekends during lockdown, and it was fucking amazing. Football and Leeds has always been a love of mine, but I've loved it so much more these last few years, and it feels like a horrible breakup. Tearing up the Championship and the incredible season we had last year in the Prem, finishing 9th. I'm really gutted that he doesn't get to finish the job on his own terms and just walk away how he wanted to. And I hope they do a proper tribute for him. I'd say obviously a statue outside Ellen Road would be the basic thing, but I think we need something more as well, like renaming the training ground from Thorpe Arch to something to do with Marcelo Bielsa, because that's where he did his best work. That's where he transformed players. That's where he made Calvin Phillips turn from a centre attacking midfielder that rarely played for Leeds into England's Player of the Year. That's where he transformed Bamford into someone that we all got on the back of for not scoring goals, to scoring 17 Premier League goals and getting an England call-up, and so many more examples. Now, the new guy coming in, at the time of recording, it's not been officially announced, but we know it's going to be Jesse Marsch. It's going to be tough for him to win everyone round, and it's massive shoes to fill, especially Phillips and Bamford. Phillips said on I've got it here, his Instagram post, "Thank you for everything you've done for me. You saw in me what I didn't even see in myself. You helped me grow as a player, but most importantly, as a person." And Bamford has said in many interviews before that he'd never really found a proper home in football, and he came to Leeds and found a home and found someone that properly believed in him, in Marcelo Bielsa, and that's why he's done so well for the club. All the players loved Marcelo, like we all do, and yeah, for someone new to come in, it's going to be tough, because we're mourning him almost. He's not died, but we're mourning the loss of him at our club. But the players and us, the fans, all need to give him a chance and get behind him, because if it's not going to go well if we don't. Yes, we can still show our support for Bielsa, but we need to show our support for Jesse as well. We can't just shun him. He's an admirer for Bielsa from what I've seen. I've done a little bit of research into his tactics and the way he plays and all that kind of stuff. Not too much though. So he'll get it. He'll get what an impact he's had on our club. But he's going to need our support, and I hope he doesn't get abuse, because he doesn't deserve it. He's done nothing wrong. He's literally taken a job at a massive club, and he deserves all the support. I know Bielsa was special and he was loved, and as much as it hurts, he's gone. He's not our manager anymore, and it's time for us to get behind Jesse, because he deserves a chance. There's 12 games left, 12 massive games left. They're going to need to learn a slightly different style. It's still a pressing style, but it's a different pressing style. They're going to have to get out of Bielsa's habits, which have been ingrained in them for 4 years almost. That's going to be tough. I imagine Jesse's going to ditch the man marking system, which hopefully will mean we stop conceding as many goals as we have in the last month. But he's got the same players, he's got the same injuries, and he's got to teach them a new style, so it's going to be difficult. As I said, I hope it's the right decision and it doesn't turn out badly for the board. I hope the players buy into it as well and give everything for the club and do it for Marcelo, really, because he's going to be watching them, he's going to be supporting them, and they need to do it for him. They need to stay in the Premier League for Marcelo. And I hope they give him a proper send-off eventually. Now probably isn't the best time, as we've got a busy schedule of games and need to focus on that. And it's too raw at the moment, but I hope at the end of the season there'll be a proper send-off with videos and interviews and proper goodbyes. We don't and we won't for a while realise what we've just lived through with Marcelo at our club. This team and Bielsa will go down in history at Leeds United, and we've been very lucky enough to live through history. And I'm gutted we never got to celebrate promotion properly, and I hope he just knows how much we love him. The outpouring of love I've seen on Instagram and Twitter from players, ex-players and fans as well, it's been incredible, and so much of it has made me cry. It's just an emotional time. I've seen the Supporters Trust have said that you can put your messages to him on their website and that'll get sent off to them, and a couple of other people are doing things that are going to get sent off, so I hope he realises how much he means to us. He meant a lot to everyone at Leeds. And there's one clip that describes him perfectly, and it's the clip at the end of season 2 of Take Us Home. So I'm going to leave this video here. I think I've said everything I need to say, and I'm going to leave it with that clip from Take Us Home. Yeah, gracias Marcelo for the best 4 years of my life. It was beautiful.
Son profesionales y aprendo a quererlos y a respetarlos y a admirarlos, y porque son seres humanos íntegros, digamos, buenas, personas buenas. Y el público solo quiere a su club. A cambio solo recibe emociones. Por eso el público es lo mejor del fútbol.